morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Sadly, Dane and I are in on a Saturday night because we're getting reports of a shooting at a Target store on Blue Diamond Road and Valley View.
Yeah, it's affecting that whole shopping mall area. So we're going to get right out to 13 Action News reporter Austin Carter. He is live with the details. Austin, I know you've been there for a little while. What can you tell us so far?
Well, Dana Beth, this is very scary right now. We know that Metro is investigating an officer-involved shooting here inside this shopping plaza. We are at the corner of Valley View and Blue Diamond. You may know this as the Target shopping plaza here. Now, we know that Metro got out here sometime this afternoon to investigate some sort of a shooting that happened here. Now, when we got to the scene here, it pretty much looked like this now, a massive presence from Metro. They have the entire parking lot here roped off right now. We saw a lot of shoppers from the Target, from different stores here, actually surrounded by officers. They were ushered out of those stores there as officers could continue to investigate. Now, I was able to talk with some people who were shopping inside the Target. They tell me that the shooting, they do not believe it happened inside there. They said all of a sudden people were told to get down. Some people were ushered and evacuated out of the back of the store. Now out here, many of them actually cannot get to their cars now, as you can imagine, as Metro has this entire shopping plaza roped off. But we do know from a witness that I just spoke with literally minutes ago. He tells me that the shooting happened inside of a Ross. He says a man went inside the store, was threatening one of the workers, came outside, then went back inside and started shooting. Now, take a listen to what that man had to say.
So we were sitting there shopping, and then some guy was arguing up front with like the manager lady, and then he picks up her phone, slams it down, and then he's just like, oh, you know, this and that. He's like, I'm gonna come get you, I'm gonna come get you. So everyone's over there watching and laughing, and then he goes out, comes back in like 2 minutes later, and just starts shooting.
And no word yet on any number of injuries. We did see a few ambulances, though, make their way in and make their way out. Of course, this entire parking lot remains closed off right now. A lot of congestion on Blue Diamond right now, so you want to try to avoid this area. And we are waiting to get more information from Metro about exactly what happened. But again, we do know right now this was an officer-involved shooting here in this shopping plaza. I'm going to send things back to you, Beth and Dana in the studio.
Wow. Austin, thank you for your great reporting in a very short amount of time. How many stores now are affected? So it sounds like Ross, Kohl's, Target.
Yeah, also the Big Lots here, the Petco, Office Depot. There are some surrounding businesses, a Del Taco and In-N-Out, and a couple other smaller business here. Those ones are still open. But listen, if you're trying to come out here to shop at Target, Ross, Big Lots, any of the big name stores in this plaza, you are not going to be able to get in. As I said earlier, the shoppers that were in this plaza actually still can't even get to their cars right now as Metro continues this investigation. So you're really just going to want to avoid this area entirely.
And Austin, that man that you talked to, now he was inside the store when he says this person started shooting, and he didn't see anyone get hit, or did he rush out right away or hide?
Well, if you saw in that video, you saw he was actually with his younger son there. He said his top priority was really making sure his son was safe. He says when that shooting started, he immediately ran for the front door, and he actually says when the man stopped shooting inside the store, the shooter then started shooting outside of the store through the front doors. He says he and his son really are lucky to be alive. So that son, the father, and for other people here that did make it, it's definitely a very scary situation.
Wow.
That's a nightmare, really.
All right, Austin, we're going to let you go just briefly so that you can interview some more witnesses, gather some more information. But we're getting a lot of reports on Twitter from, thank you, Austin, great job, a lot of reports on Twitter from people who were trapped inside those stores, unsure of what was happening, obviously scared. And so one of them, let's see, this is Teacher EC1 says, I am trapped inside Kohl's. I'm okay. Wife, daughter, niece, and I are in the back of the store. We are locked in, sheltered in place. And then he says, only in America.
And then other people started asking him if he was okay. He says, we're still sheltered in place. Metro isn't letting us out yet. Store management has the doors locked. We're okay. So it sounds like these stores definitely had a plan in place to keep these folks, you know, away from the gunfire. Obviously, he was in the Kohl's, and then Austin telling us it happened in the Ross. I know there was some confusion, people saying it was the Target, but I think it was just the huge police presence in the plaza. But Ross Ross, again confirming it was inside the Ross store that's there on Blue Diamond.
So obviously we are less than 1 year away from 1 October, but for all of us who live here in Las Vegas, we immediately get nervous when we hear about an active shooter situation. It's very upsetting to all of us. This is our home, and this kind of violence is shocking. And a lot of people back to school shopping. It's the Saturday before. Just this morning, one of our viewers was telling me on Facebook, I'm going to do all my back to school shopping.
Yeah.
And so that section of stores, clothing,
everything.
and
Big lots
yes,
and
would have been very busy at approximately 4 o'clock. 4 or 4:30 is when we started to get the calls here in the newsroom that something was happening again at that busy shopping center at Valley View and Blue Diamond. And as soon as our crews got to the scene, you can see officers mean business, and they are there. They obviously got there very quickly, and there you see Metro's chopper flying above as police were trying to make those stores as safe as possible. But as Dana pointed out, those shopping stores clearly have a security plan, because they all locked their doors and did their best to protect customers. And to our knowledge, they were successful in the other stores. Now we are waiting to find out how many victims may have been inside that Ross store. And you heard our reporter on the scene, Austin Carter, saying that multiple ambulances arrived and multiple ambulances left the scene. So that's very concerning to us, that that there may be multiple victims in those ambulances. And so we have crews all over for you. We'll be working to get information about those folks.